everyone, welcome back to the live stream tonight. We're going to be finishing up our acrylic panel that we were upholstering last night, and then we're also going to move the camera, and then we're going to come over here to this side, and we're going to work on the driver rear door carrier. So we got one from Flatline Vanco. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. So not sponsored, but I did want to kind of tie the whole van in with the whole van Flatline Vanco theme, so we get a lot of interior parts. If you guys have not seen the build on the van that we're currently working on, but the components we got work from Flatline Vanco. So let me show you the tire rack that we're going to be working with. It's this transit rear tire carrier. So we're going to be putting that on the van tonight, and I've already started. Probably moved halfway through it, and there's some challenges that you guys might face when you're installing it, so I wanted to make sure that I cover those. It has to do with the door brackets, and then we're going to go through on some rust preventative stuff that I had to grind and then repaint the drill location for the door. You have to actually drill through the door to bolt the tire carrier and all that stuff. So we're going to do it after we finish up with the upholstered panel. So let's go ahead and jump on over there. So this is where we were yesterday afternoon, and if you guys can see, we actually have the upholstered panel epoxied in. I did a first run of epoxy. Try to clean all this up. You know there's work getting done when there's just like a mess everywhere. So I almost don't get mad at it because it means progress. Let's clean all this up here. So let's see if the camera can zoom in just a little bit so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so here's our panel. And what we did yesterday was we finished upholstering the whole entire panel so that it looks nice and neat. All of our edges are super clean, and we've got our screw holes covered up, which we are going to cut out today to mount it. I already took out the protective plastic, so now we just got the clean piece of acrylic. And I went through last night and I did a first pass of epoxy. Now the reason I'm doing two passes is because when you have fabric and you're working with upholstery in general, it's going to absorb the adhesive or anything you put in there that's essentially like a liquid. So when you use these JB Weld clear weld sticks and you're putting it through here, if you put too much, you can overwhelm the fabric and it's going to absorb it, and it actually might come out the other side. It'll just keep sucking it up and then it'll come out the other side, and that's really bad. You've ruined your whole panel, so you don't want to do that. So instead what I do is I do a first pass, and it'll set the piece of acrylic, and then we'll come back and then I can fill up the channel one more time, and then that sets everything in there and it's not going anywhere. Because the way I do these panels, there's no room to nail or have some type of finishing cover on it because it's just too much. This worked out really well in the Marine One fan conversion that we did for Thomas, and so I'm doing it for this build as well. The exciting part today is we get to put on the vinyl graphic. So our Odyssey Custom Vans etched glass vinyl. So this is a simulated etched glass, and the way that you would get the graphics company in your local area to do something like this is you say, I want the etched glass vinyl, and then reverse it or like kind of invert it. Because what you want to do to have this effect is you want the adhesive on the front of the letters so that when you put it on, the vinyl is behind the acrylic. That's the secret. That's how it makes it look like it's, like laser etched into the panel. So what we're going to do today, besides everything I was just saying, is we're going to show you how I square this up, which is pretty straightforward, but you know, something like this where you get so far you don't want to mess up. I'll show you what I'm doing to not mess up. We're going to put the logo here, so we'll need to clean it. I've got this piece of tape up here to indicate the top of my panel, just so I don't forget the orientation, because our screw holes that are covered here, we got to remember these screw holes underneath here, they're hidden. So we'll have to cut them out with a razor before we actually install the panel in its final home. But I went ahead and took the panel, put it in the van, and these pieces of blue tape is where the 80/20 bar runs across the panel. So I want to make sure that I know what that offset is, and that way I can start measuring how far I want to come off this edge and up to do my height, and then I'll do my left to right. And then once we know that's where it's at, what we'll do is we'll wipe this down with Windex, we'll clean everything up, we'll tape our graphic down on this side, and then we'll kind of start from the right, go to the left, and then just kind of lay it on. Yours will probably be newer. This has been sitting for a while, so I'm hoping that the adhesive's okay on this part, because it's been on the shelf for a minute. But the thing is, it's a vinyl graphic, so if it messes up, we can just get it. We can just peel it back off, get another one printed. But yeah, that's actually kind of been open a little bit. I just now saw that. All right, we'll see how we do. So that's the first thing we're going to do in this panel. Then we're going to cut out the holes, and when we're done, I'll move the camera and we'll jump on to the rear tire carrier, and we'll start messing with it. So the rear tire carrier looks like this. This is what it looks like. So we have a bracket up here on the top, bracket on the bottom. There's a little supporting bracket that I'll show you. This part right over here on the right side, this little bracket, this is the complicated part. And that goes inside the door. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Oh yeah, so go and do. This acrylic panel, I don't know if I've showed you a video. This is going in the spec build van for the shop. So it has the Renogy power system. So what this panel is going to do is it's going to cover the Victron Lynx distributor, the Renogy Rego 3000 watt inverter, and the 2 DC to DC chargers. So it's not the EcoFlow system yet, but I may do acrylic on the EcoFlow. So I think you've already given me that idea now. do the signature acrylic, because it looks pretty cool. Not sure yet, but yeah, tonight the acrylic is for the Renogy system. I will look into doing it for the EcoFlow. Anyway, this is our tire carrier, and we've got to kind of bolt everything up. So the goal is, by the end of this live stream tonight, I will get that tire carrier bolted up and I can check it off my to-do list. And in the meantime, you guys are here to ask all the questions that you would like to ask if you have any questions. But we're going to hop over here to this camera, and let's see here. Okay, I'm going to start measuring. So everything is good. Nothing crazy over here. What we're going to do now is we're going to make sure we got some painter's tape. We're going to take our measuring tape, and I just want to get a rough estimate of how high. So we've got 8.5 inches. So it's 8.5 inches right there. And then it should be 8.5 right here. Okay, bingo. So we got 8.5 inches. That is this direction. So our two pieces of tape are level, which makes sense. They should be. We didn't do anything crazy when we were building this. All the measurements are very, very simple. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly take a piece of tape. I'm going to tape it from this end to this end, and we don't want the middle to stick yet. Kind of want it to, we want to lay down because this is what we're going to use to reference off of. So let's see here. We're measuring from the top, not what I did before, so this measurement's going to be different. So I got 10 and an eighth, and 10 and an eighth. So let's check our middle. Okay, so that is, we can set this in place. All right, this is what we're going to use. We're going to do one more piece of tape, and that will come up off of this. And that, we're essentially just centering this. All right, so we got a 1/2 inch there, and let's do a 1/2 inch on the top. So it looks like we're going to leave it just like that. So we're only going to use the bottom as our reference, and then we'll do our left to right. Because we have a 1/2 inch plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5/8 on the top right here. And then we've got 1/2 inch here above the bar, but I'd rather have this down just a hair, because when you look at a graphic, if this is too high, because you're going to be looking up high and it'll be at an angle. So if we move it down a little bit lower, it's going to actually look like it's actually more correct, if that makes sense. All right, so we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and get some tape. And I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch up from here. And we want to be careful. We've taken our protection off of the acrylic, so we don't want our tape measure scratching this up. Okay, so there's our 1/2 inch. Forgot to go to Home Depot and get more tape, so I'm using the extra tape from yesterday's live stream. Okay, so that's our base of our graphic. All right, just make sure this thing does not snap back. Let's lock the tape measure. It's going to come under here. All right. So I'm sure if you did this, you'll have completely different measurements, but if you guys are curious, I'm at 9.5 inches. Okay. So our top to bottom's good. Now we just need to get our left to right. This one's going to be tricky because I folded this up and it just, it's wrinkled. The graphic's fine, but it's been on the shelf for a couple months actually, if you can believe it. So this is ballpark. You guys can also see why I like masking tape instead of painter's tape. Because painter's, it just doesn't hold. It's annoying. I just need to slap some tape on here. It's an 1.5 inches and 1 3/8 inches. Inch and 3/8. Yeah, this is where the process gets tedious. All right, so let's pick this up. This right side is the main, this is the main side that I want to worry about. I'm not really worried about the back side. So we got this at 1.5 inches. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where I need to be on the right side. I'll put a piece of tape and then I'll just go from there. Just kind of have to go for it. All right, so this. Okay, we got 1.25 inches. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get my line for my 1 3/8 inches starting point. Which is not easy right now. Okay, actually, that looks good. Okay, so we got 1 3/8, 2 7/8. Two and 7/8. 2 7/8. Okay, so now we've finally got our corner over here. That's good. Nine and a half, 9.5, 2 7/8, 2 7/8. Okay. All right, let's see how many people we got in the chat tonight. All right, not bad. Or the live stream. I think most people won't get on until about 9 anyway. But if you guys are just joining us, we are working on an acrylic panel that we are doing some vinyl graphics on with the company logo for a custom van build. And we are just cleaning everything up so that we can apply the graphic. We have a etched glass of my company logo. And this one's going to be a little bit more challenging than the other one simply because I let this get wrinkled on the shop shelf as I was doing other things. And yeah, it's not going to be as easy as the first one, which I could have. When you're working with the graphics, it's good to, if you can tape the whole graphic down, and then as you work with the graphic, you begin to peel it off and then align it. But this one, I got a couple of things going against me. Let's see here. The way that they put the paper on it, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. See, that's not. So they cut this outside paper random. So I was trying to get a straight edge and I kept messing up over here. And the reason is this top piece actually kind of goes up. This bottom piece is down and then goes up at a taper, and this backside has like a slash to it. So really all I have to go off of at the current moment is going to be this my actual logo. You'll see it when I peel this back. Yes, let me clean this one more time. Make sure we get a really clean, lint-free surface. Okay. Already got some goop over here. Don't know what that is. There's a little drop of epoxy. Probably. Okay. There we go. All right, next thing you want to do is go wash your hands. Get all the oils off your hands as much as you can. I don't like to put gloves on because I like to feel the material, because the gloves can they just get in my way. So if I just make sure my hands are really clean and not oily or greasy, I just go with that. All right, here we go. Let's move this down. I'm gonna move the camera, don't worry guys. Just need this a little bit closer to me so I don't mess up. All right, here we go. Let's put the graphic on. Measure twice, cut once, right? So we got 9.5, 9.5, 9.5. We are coming off of this thing at 2 7/8. All right, so 2 7/8 over there. What was this thing measuring at? 2 7/8. And the graphic is actually 31 inches. 31 is right there. Let's see, so I'm starting this at 1 inch. Let's do it. Just need to mark one more thing. So down here in the bottom, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches. Okay, and then over here, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches. Because the paper is not what we're going off of. The graphic is what we're going off of. And so where you can actually start to mess up is you start following the paper, not the graphic, trying to get the paper straight. And because we were paying attention, the paper is not right. So what's this going to look like if we do this? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of tape. I'm going to put one more piece of tape here. And that tape needs to be just like this other one. So let's put this up here so we can mark on it. All right, so I put this at 1.5 inches. And then right here we need another dot. 1.5 inches. Okay, then we're gonna have a piece of paper. And now, when I put the graphic on here, I'm putting this edge of my logo right on the piece of tape, and then I'm just going from there. That way I don't mess myself up. All right, there we go. So now we should be kicking butt. All right, so the final triple check is going to be, this is fine over here. It's this part of our logo that we want to be centered between the 80-20. So we've got 3/4 of an inch there. And I have a 1/2 inch. Oh wait, no, we already talked about that. 1/2 inch here. So 1/2 inch and 5/8. Not 3/4, 5/8. So we already talked. We're good. Okay. Now when we take this off, we're going to roll the, we're actually going to take it off under this way, and then we'll just get this, this will be our anchor, kind of like that. And then we'll just work the graphic down like this. And unfortunately in this case, we have to make sure that we don't use our white piece of paper as what we're doing to level this out, because it'll steer us the wrong way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get a couple more pieces of tape, and I'm just going to hold this down temporarily. I'm trying to set this up to teach you guys and do it at the same time, so give me just 1 minute. Okay, looking good. Let's take this out. So what I'm doing is I'm giving me a little bit of room to start to work with. So now we've exposed the graphic, and we're going to get ready to put it on. And we're going to do this in one go because we don't want to have bubbles. So once it goes down, we're not lifting back up to fix anything or straighten anything. Man, this is not like the other one. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to use the piece of paper right here. It's straight on this side. I just Okay, the problem I have is this right here is fine. This is straight, perfect. But now as I come across, what you want to do is you don't want to have the graphic drift left or right. And because they didn't cut this square, I needed to measure where it says custom vans and make sure it's the same from the top down. So hopefully if you are getting your vinyl graphics done, you don't run into this problem. Make sure that they cut it nice and even, because this is just a kind of pain in the butt, as you guys just saw. Not having a place to actually, a way to actually lock this in square. So I'm just putting tape on here so it doesn't move. Just remembered, I have my Amazon kit that I ordered for the graphics, and we've got these really nice felt scrapers. So I'm going to use my hands, and then I'll come back with the felt. Let's do a little update. Let's check the other side. Still looks good. And the only reason we're taking our time is air bubbles. We don't want any air getting in here. All right, our tape gave up on us, so hopefully, let's just measure what we just did so far. So we got our little place right here, and that's at 7 7 1/8. Let's come over here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. Sorry, can't read. 7 5/8. 7 5/8. 7 5/8. So now we're making sure that this dashed line is 7 5/8 from here and right there. Now when we get to the end, we're going to want to release the tape, because what the problem that'll happen is this roll will be in there, and we need to make sure the Y comes up before we get to it. Just a little check in. Okay. There's a point to where you can't really fix what you did, and you can just rip it off and go, but I'm just gonna take it nice and easy. All right, so I did get I got a little bubble on the S right there. Ah, it's not a bubble. Dang it. Hold on. And we got a piece of trash in there. All right, let me see if I can show you guys how to. Okay, we're gonna have to. Do it from the top here. Nah, we're not gonna be able to fix it. We can fix it when we come back. We'll go back and clean it up. I'll take one of those razors and do a little surgery on it. But what I was saying earlier is when you're this close to the end, you really can't change the angle or anything. I mean, you're already done. You're done with the graphic. We almost had it perfect. Almost had it perfect. We can still fix it, but, you know, I would like it to have been a flawless just application. Okay. So let's see if we can flip this up. You probably can't see anything until I take it off. There you go. So there's our etch. And looks like we did okay. Just gonna measure a couple things. Can't do anything about it, but I just wanted to see if it actually came out 13 1/4. There, okay. Yep, I think. All right, so now we're going to peel off this backing piece of paper. Just make sure all of our stuff is down, and then we're going to come in and see if we can fix that S. But here is the reveal. So I'm going to just do this. Let's see, where is that bump? You don't want to hit the bump. So it's down here at the base of the S, right here. Okay, so I'm just going to mark that right here. The worst thing you can do is take this and run over a bump, because you could tear it. But we're just going to come in and make sure, we want to make sure that our graphic is fully stuck on there, because we don't want to remove any part of the graphic if it's like a little letter or an I or like a dotted I. Because when we take this paper off, the pre-masking tape, you could actually pull up what we just did. So, all right. The reveal, here we go. In a minute, you guys will see why I was so tedious with this. Or hopefully you'll see it. See why. And just watch as you peel this off, because if you accidentally catch an edge, you can push it back down before you actually tear it and really mess it up. Things like S's and stuff like that tend to sometimes mess up. Now on this S, we're either going to do one of two things. We're going to do the old school and just pop it with a little bit of a razor blade, or we're actually going to see if we can fix it. Of course, now I don't even see where it is. Oh, it's on the other side. Yeah, it's on the other side. Okay. So right, where is that? I don't want to say it would disappear, but I can't. Actually, don't see it. Where'd it go? I'm just pushing on this E because and this N because we pulled up on it, and probably shouldn't have done that, but we did. All right, there you go. That is our etched glass. I think it looks freaking awesome. Oh, we got a little bump right there, a little bubble. Okay, so one little micro bubble there. I'm probably going to leave it. Yeah, okay. Let's get this tape off and then do a proper reveal. Okay, for the moment, we're not gonna clean that because just don't mess with what you just did yet. Just give it a second. All right. Camera, we're gonna be looking at this anyway. Okay, we got our 6 holes. Grab, I think I kept the bolts right over here. That's okay, we got a ton of them over here. We'll go grab. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the live stream. I'm going to reset the camera. We're going to pop up into a new live stream. That way it's just easier. If you guys want to go back and watch the videos, they'll be separate. Before we end, I wanted to go over quickly the DIY van build cheat sheet. This is an Excel sheet that I made, over 250 curated items of parts that I've bought while working in the shop. So if you're looking for parts for your DIY build and you want a list to start from, this list is completely free. You can download it right here on the website. Just put your name, email address, it'll come straight to your inbox. And yeah, just real quick, it's an Excel sheet of all these items that I bought on Amazon, and they're all organized. Electrical, fasteners, hardware, HVAC, roofing, solar. And the most important section is the tool section. So if you guys are interested in this sheet, all you gotta do is go to vanbuilderhq.com or click in the link in the description below, and you guys can get this free. Always adding to it. It's always going to grow throughout the years, so download it to help you with your van build start. And then last but not least, this is also Odyssey Custom Vans, brought to you by Odyssey Custom Vans, my van building business, which I'm doing right now. If you guys want to check out the van that we've been working on, which is this all-wheel drive Ford Transit high roof, we took it to the Adventure Van Expo in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So there's a video walkthrough. If you guys want to hop on the website and check out a video walking through the van. We got a couple more things we're finishing up on it. But if you're interested in looking further, we got all the details on the website. We've got photos here of the build. And if you're interested in purchasing this, because it is for sale, you can contact me here at sales@odysseycustomvans.com. That's my phone number. Easiest way is to click on the calendar link and pick a day and a time, hop on a call with me, and we'll walk through this build. Also, if you're looking for a professional build, you can click on the same link and look on this left tab, and it'll give you some instructions on how we put together a consultation for you to start working on putting the project together if you're interested. So easiest way, but that's going to wrap it up for finishing up this acrylic panel to go over in the battery system. If you guys want to see the final version, just go to the next live stream after this video, and we will be continuing the build, working on the rear tire carrier, and then that will be the end of our live shop build tonight. So thanks so much for staying this far into the video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Van Builder HQ's YouTube channel. If you have any questions, put those in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream.